A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another book review today. Well, this time it's a little bit different. This time I'm reviewing two books. I just want to first off apologize that I haven't released a video on this channel for quite a few weeks now. Life has been getting in the way, and for the past few days I've been incredibly sick. So this is kind of my first opportunity. But luckily, this is a book that I did finish a few weeks ago, but it just took me a little time to process it. And now I feel I've been able to do that in a way that can kind of, get the story across without too many spoilers. This is one that I want to go spoiler light on because it's really a book that I feel in order to fully digest it, you really need to read it yourself. So cheers for that. So today I'm looking at the final two Cormac McCarthy books, The Passenger and Stella Maris. Now I'm going to start this video a little differently. I want to kind of show you the covers and the set that it came in because I think it's just absolutely beautiful. So let's jump straight into that. So this is the kind of boxed set that these books came in. We'll just flip it over on the back here. You get an idea of what the stories are about. The Passenger is a fast-paced and sprawling novel, while Stella Maris is a tightly controlled coda told entirely in dialogue. Together they relate the thrilling story of a brother and sister haunted by loss, pursued by conspiracy, and longing for a death that cannot be reconciled with God. An allusion there to the main character's sister. Now, if you take them out, we have these beautiful wraparound covers, which kind of form this body. Similar on this one, but when they are put together in there, they kind of create this face. I think the publishing company did a fantastic job with the covers. Wow, these are hard to get back in. There we go. I think they did a fantastic job with the covers. And it really just works for the set itself. You can buy these books separately. And I know if you buy The Passenger separately, you get this face and this image. And I'm not sure with Stella Maris, but you can still put the books together and it makes the face here. So there you have it. Just wanted to show that off. Let's go back into the review. Now, there is a lot to process about these two books, and if you're not a fan of Cormac McCarthy, who sadly passed away, I believe, at the end of last year, these were the last books that he had written in 15 years. I think before that, The Road came out, which a lot of people love. I wasn't a huge fan of. I haven't read all of his work. No Country for Old Men is phenomenal. I loved Blood Meridian. I thought Blood Meridian was absolutely fantastic. I even enjoyed reading his screenplay, The Counselor. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. But the screenplay has that very distinctive Cormac McCarthy style of writing. And that's something that's very jarring about these novels, is his writing style is unconventional. I have heard other book reviewers call it slightly pretentious. He doesn't really follow the conventional rules of punctuation, of sentence structure, things like that. However, he is a phenomenal storyteller. Absolutely phenomenal. And these two books are no exception. Now, you might be a little disappointed with these books after knowing what the story is, because it doesn't really follow that story very much. And in fact, there's really no resolution here. We are kind of forced to put pieces together that aren't actually there. It's a very divisive novel from what I have kind of read online and the videos that I've reviewed, and that's perfectly okay. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. I'm going to try and make this, as I said, as spoiler-free as possible. I'm just going to give you the bare bones for The Passenger, and then for Stella Maris. And if you want to go out and read these books or whatever, that's up to you. I sincerely hope you do, because I thought both of them were absolutely phenomenal reads. So let's get right into the next episode of
Read a fucking book. 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 People.
Okay. We're going to start with The Passenger. Now, the main character of The Passenger is this guy called Bobby Western. He is a deep-sea salvage diver. He has a crew that he works with. They're all kind of friends. And that's one of the beauty parts of reading a lot of Cormac McCarthy, is he nails dialogue like you would not believe. It's like Tarantino-esque dialogue in his novels. Now, the book starts with a mystery, which is Bobby and his crew have been hired to kind of go down and check out a plane that has crashed in the ocean or a river or whatever. It's all kind of set around New Orleans. And they go down there, and there's a few things wrong with this submerged plane. One of the 10 passengers is missing. The pilot's flight bag is missing. The black box of the plane is missing. Immediately, he sets up a mystery. As the story progresses, we basically see that Bobby is being pursued by some shady types. His house gets broken into. They're looking for something. He doesn't quite know what. And as the story progresses, he becomes more and more paranoid, and ultimately it kind of doesn't actually come full circle. But what we do get is a complex character study of Bobby himself. We get his relationship with his sister, who has killed herself. We find out that his father worked on the first atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima with Oppenheimer. We find out that his grandparents had, in fact, hidden a ton of gold coins in the basement of their house, which Bobby then recovers and splits the money with his sister and goes off to kind of become a race car driver in France, then comes back, does a deep sea salvaging shit. He's a very complex character, but a lot of the story is kind of him reminiscing on characters and family members and his sister. All the while, we are getting snippets of his sister's life. She is a genius with mathematics, also with music. She's a diagnosed schizophrenic who has these people that keep showing up that are figments of her imagination. And ultimately, she kind of books herself into a mental institution called Stella Maris. Pardon me. Oh, frog in my throat there. Okay, one moment. Let's see if that stops the light. We'll find out. We'll see if it stops the light from changing. Now, this book, parts of it read more like essays on philosophy or a doctoral thesis on quantum mechanics. It's a very difficult read, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I think Cormac McCarthy has this genius way of forcing the reader to sit back and understand before they continue with the story. This isn't just a sit down, read, yeah, I got it. This is read, go back, read that part again, try and understand what's going on. And I enjoyed that aspect of the book. A lot of the books that I read, I try to find quick reads because I'm working, I'm traveling, I'm commuting on the train, and you just want something that you can drown out the outside noise. You need peace and quiet to read this. This isn't a book you can read on a crowded subway train. It's not going to happen. At one point, Bobby has all of his assets frozen by the IRS because they can't understand where all of his money is coming from so that he can travel and whatnot. The book is set way down south. We've got New Orleans, we've got oil rigs in Florida. It goes all over the place, but ultimately it is a character study. It is a mystery. It deals with loss. It deals with family. It deals with a whole lot of Bobby's irreconcilable emotions now that his sister has killed herself. There is a low-key incestuous subplot here between the brother and the sister. Nothing actually happens, but we get the idea that Bobby's sister has or did have feelings for him outside of the brother and sister kind of dichotomy there. So that was The Passenger. Stella Maris, the second book, is focused wholly on Bobby's sister Alicia. And the whole book is told in dialogue form. Now, back at university, I had written stories that were literally just two people talking to each other. No narrative description at all. It's just one whole conversation. That's the whole story, and that's what you get here. And it works. It's between Alicia and her psychiatrist, and every chapter is like a new visit that they have together. And we get to find out that Alicia is brilliant. She loves mathematics. We get to find out more of her family history. Her mother was kind of scared of her. She was diagnosed as crazy at the age of 4, which kind of led her mother to not be able to handle her or whatever. Bobby, who is 5 years older than her, was always looking out for her. Now, what I like about Stella Maris is it's one of those books that has an unreliable narrator. Now, what I mean by that is there is a point in this book where we find out that Bobby, while he was racing in France, crashed his car and is in a coma, and Alicia believes him to be dead. So that, knowing that this is set before Passenger, kind of makes you question, because I don't believe that was ever brought up in The Passenger. It might have been and I skimmed over it, so if that's the case, I apologize. We also find out more about Alicia's feelings for her brother, in as much as she basically wanted to marry him. At one point she did try to kiss him, and he basically said, we can't kind of let this happen. There is an underlying idea that he reciprocated the feelings in some way but never acted on them. So that's a really interesting kind of point of view. The psychiatrist is trying very hard to keep up with Alicia. Alicia is throwing ideas of quantum mechanics at him. She's throwing ideas of mathematical formulas. She's name dropping all of these great mathematicians. At one point, She brings up philosophy and music because she was interested in music, and then she kind of moved to mathematics. So we get this really intense look at the character of Alicia, who in The Passenger has already died, and Bobby is trying to reconcile his feelings for her with the loss of his sister. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I really do not want to spoil these two books. But what did I ultimately think of Cormac McCarthy's final books in relation to the other Cormac McCarthy books that I have read? I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed them. I would not say that they were better than Blood Meridian, for example. That's my favourite Cormac McCarthy novel. I would not say that they were better than No Country for Old Men, an audiobook that I just listened to last night, again for like the 20th time. But for what they are, written by Cormac McCarthy in his dying day, I believe he was pushing 90 or maybe a little over 90. They are superb and they are well worth a read if you enjoy Cormac McCarthy. But I will say that if you want to get into Cormac McCarthy, I would give these a try, because you will tell from the first chapter of The Passenger whether or not you're going to like his writing. Sure, The Road is an easier read. No Country for Old Men is an easier read. But The Passenger and Stella, which are both set in, I believe, the 1980s as well. So you get that almost historical context of what is going on and how close the time period was to dropping the bomb on Hiroshima as compared to if it was set in 2023, then you're going to have a really good time with these books. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Cormac McCarthy and his works. There are quite a few of his works that I haven't read. All the Pretty Horses and that whole trilogy there, which I hope to get to one day, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day, there's only so many things I can do, there's only so many glasses I can drink. But by all means, hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, stay tuned. We've got more videos coming, a few game videos that I want to get to the table in the next few days. I haven't played a board game on the channel in a long, long time. So I'm hoping to get some Marvel Champions and possibly Tuesday or Wednesday, a game of Eldritch Horror for my good friends Ian Van Gamet and Dr. Luke Carman back in the Down Underverse. But yeah, stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And read a fucking book, people.